Gary Dean, PremiumCustomDetailing.com. I'm here with a 2000 Corvette, and the owner took a brush and I believe a scouring pad to the paint. So I've washed it, clay barred it, cleaned the wheels and fender wells and the tires and stuff like that. I also have taped up the majority of the edges so that I don't have to worry about these thin edges. But anyway, you can see in the paint, yeah, you can really see that. Those are all over the car. So my job is to remove all that stuff from the paint and make it look like it never happened. Take you around the car and let you see all this stuff as if you can't already see it with the fluorescents. They work really well in showing this stuff, but it's all over the car. It looks really bad. There's a really bad spot. I think that's about the worst spot on the car, and that's really deep, so have to be careful there. But you can see on the back of the vehicle, I would say it's moderately swirled as well, so using that brush was an expensive mistake, but the car is going to look better when I'm done than it did prior to her little accident. So yeah, swirly, 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 swirly. So that's a little bit of what I'm getting into now, so wish me luck. Before I get on with the detail, I wanted to just show these chrome tips. They look pretty good. It's an aftermarket Borla exhaust, and they're not in horrible shape, but they definitely look like they could use some loving. So anyway, that's what the exhaust tips look like prior to polishing, as well as that plate right there looking pretty mucky. Let me get that taken care of as well. Alright, I've tried a couple of things. I've tried to use my Griot Garage DA with some 5.5-inch Sonus orange pads, and this Corvette is laughing at everything I'm doing right now. It is not responding well. Basically all I've done is smooth out the edges to make them not look so rugged. You can see right there where the scratches are still there. It's super deep. So, you know, at the beginning of a detail, right after I get it taped up, you know, you don't just start polishing. You have to take some time to try to figure out what's going to work best. All right, we're here with this Corvette again. I have addressed everything that I could find that has to do with the brush that she used to clean off some random stuff on the paint. So I have wet sanded, as you can see, most of the hood. I don't know why I just didn't go ahead and wet sand the whole thing, but I've addressed all the spots on the bumper, the hood, this headlight got it, the corner of the bumper, the rear hatch in a lot of areas got it, the rear bumper on the top. This area a whole lot. Right here was where the absolute worst marring occurred, and I was able to get that completely out, so I'm happy about that. Alright, I've got the wet sanding marks out of half the hood now. This is stressing me out to a point that I have got to take a break. So it's the scratches are extremely deep. I mean, there were a lot of marring in the entire car, not just where she used that brush or scouring pad. I have my suspicions that, well, not a lot, not the whole car, but some panels on this car have been repainted for sure. So it's no stranger to the streets. I'm gonna continue to get these wet sanding marks out. I'm gonna make this paint look amazing. Some of that scratching and you know, that marring that's in the paint is just gonna have to stay. Gary Dean, PremiumCustomDetailing.com. I'm here very early on the second day of this Corvette restoration, and restoring this paint has been a real pain. Alright, I've done the whole hood, got rid of all the wet sanding marks and stuff like that, which I'll touch on in a little bit. But this is what we're working with on the rear of the vehicle. This was the worst of the scratches. And then we've got the rear bumper right here, which I'm going to be very gentle on. Gary Dean, PremiumCustomDetailing.com. I'm back with this Corvette. It's all finished as far as the polishing goes. Trimming it out is all done. The wheels are clean. The last thing that I have to do is apply the Opti Guard coating to the Corvette. Prior to that, I want to walk you around the entire car with the Brinkman to show you what kind of shape the paint is in. Upon my inspection of the vehicle while I was doing the work, I noticed that a lot of this car has been repainted. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but I have wet sanded the scratches that this thing came in for so much that if I mean, one more scrape with a piece of sandpaper would put, in my opinion, would put me in jeopardy of having to repaint the car. And I just, you know, it's not worth that. It's not worth a paint job. The paint still looks really good, but some of the scratches just didn't come out. They were extremely deep, but it looks a lot better. The gloss is ridiculous on this car. I love the paint. It's magnetic red. So I'm just going to show you what kind of shape the paint is in after polishing. You can see it's in awesome shape. Not a swirl mark. It looks amazing. It looks absolutely amazing. I am working desperately to master the art of using the Brinkman on film, but I think that I have other features and traits that I'm excelling in currently that don't include that one. So, but anyway, you can see in the light that there's not a swirl mark on this vehicle. All right, yeah, obviously we have a problem. This is the problem right here. I dropped the Opti coat in the engine compartment way down there, and I cannot reach it with my hand. So we're right here with this Corvette, and I've dropped the Opti coat. Who does that? What an idiot I am. Alright, I have retrieved the Optimum coating, thank God, because I would have been in trouble. I'm not quite done with this Corvette yet. Let me just say before I show you guys the car that this has been a real pain in my ass to deal with this car. The paint was hard. The car has been painted several different ways by, I would assume, several different people from several different incidences, but I did the absolute best I could with what I had to work with. Good products, good process, bad paint. So this is where I'm at. It looks wet enough to dive right into. It looks like a candy apple. I am ecstatic at the way that it did turn out. And for the most part, it looks really, really good. If you were to inspect it, you would find zero swirls, but you would definitely find some random isolated deep scratches that I did not want to take the risk to remove. Sometimes you need to just leave well enough alone. You do some wet sanding, do some compounding, do some polishing, and by that time there's not a whole bunch more clear coat that you can work with. So you either press your luck and trash the paint, or you say it looks amazing but there's a couple of deeper scratches that just won't come out, and that's where I'm at right now. I could not be happier with the way the detail turned out. The Opti Guard went on very nicely, very evenly. I'm thrilled with that product. I think it's wonderful. This is a aftermarket Borla exhaust system, and those were polished as well as that plate in the back. I used the Sonus chrome polish on those, which is absolutely amazing stuff. I love it. So those got the treatment of Opti Guard after the chrome polish, and an isopropyl alcohol wipe down as well. So you've seen the paint, you've inspected it with my Brinkman, you've seen the paint and the reflections in the fluorescent lights. I'll probably do another short clip when the client picks the car up, but this is one badass looking paint job on this Corvette after it's been cut and compounded and polished, wet sanded. I got a lot of sweat into this thing, but this one didn't make me bleed. That's a good deal. So
I might be coming up in the morning in this shirt.
that's where we're at.
Right now, if I do.
Man, these flakes really stand out now. It's ridiculous.